I'm now pleased to introduce Mr. Meron Semedar, a candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in International Studies. He is representing the members of the graduate class of 2016 as their speaker today. Mr. Semedar.
I'm a little taller for this. Such a beautiful day. Good afternoon, Father Fitzgerald, Provost Halle, Dean Camperi, members of the Board of Trustees, honored speaker, the university leadership team, the faculty, fellow graduates, families, and guests. Graduation is one of the biggest milestones in our lives. It's a time to reflect not only on the sleepless nights we have had to endure to get where we are today, but it's also a time when we start contemplating the next stage of our lives. This day means a tremendous amount for each of us. For me, as a refugee from Eritrea, I cannot tell you what this moment means. It is one only a few years ago was unimaginable. I will always be deeply grateful to the University of San Francisco for welcoming me here as a human being, not as a refugee, to pursue my education. I'm deeply mindful of my friends who are refugees and are not as fortunate as me. They are languishing in the Sinai Peninsula, the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and in a desolate refugee camps. My mother couldn't be with us here today, having been denied 3 times visa in the last 6 months. But she has a congratulations message to the graduates, and it goes like this. I don't need to translate that, do I? Well, just know, if she was here, she would have done it much, much better than I did. Before I go on, now please allow me, Father Fitzgerald, to present you with a refugee flag that's been represented throughout the world, that represents refugees around the world. It's in solidarity, and it's got orange and black color. It resembles the life vest of refugees that are wearing as they try to cross the Mediterranean and other perilous seas. Thank you. Thank you. Each of my classmates has his or her own unique story, as well as the many people who are cheering for them in a very special way. I hope that you will take the time to be curious and really listen to their stories. They are powerful. Having the privilege of speaking to you today, please allow me to share a bit of my story and some of the issues dear to my heart. Currently, the number of refugees in the world is estimated at 65 million. For me, a very important question emerges from this staggering statistic. How can we be part of solving the greatest refugee crisis since World War II? Well, we can start by keeping in mind that statistics is actually the wrong word. We are talking about 65 million human beings, each with their own unique identity. In line with the mission and vision of our esteemed university, and with all that's going on in our world, it remains our responsibility to say no to bigotry, no to hate, no to racism, no to injustice and no to any form of dictatorship. It is our responsibility as global citizens to educate our communities about such unacceptable behaviors. Let us say yes to the dignity of human beings. Let us uphold human rights for all. Let us empower each other. In our time of bitter political discourse about refugees in the US and Europe and many other places, we are honored to be graduating from a university that plays a leading role in allowing undocumented individuals to register at this institution. This is a great first step, which needs to be nurtured with even more scholarships and assistance for even more refugees and underserved communities. Today, I want you to know that refugees are not a burden, which politicians are using as a scapegoat, but rather people of extensive skills, rich experiences, highly educated scholars, doctors, entrepreneurs, scientists, among many. This is coupled with the richness of culture, diversity, and the way of life that they bring to their new home. We must recognize that immigrants and refugees have their own dreams, goals, aspirations, and the pursuit of happiness, like all of you. We should not forget that America's success story is thanks to the contribution of immigrants. As we graduate today, I have a great confidence in my fellow graduates that we will confront the world issues that will impact our lives in generations to come. It is our responsibility to work beyond our personal interests, to devise collective solutions to make this world better. My calling is to be an advocate, to give voice to those who have no voice. I want to see a world where words like human dignity, human rights, respect, kindness, compassion, peace are more than just nice words. In my dreams, I believe that this world could be transformed. That will happen when we each take on a little more responsibility and act to empower and uplift. This is not an easy road, but hope is the oxygen of my life. I have hope in humanity. I have hope that even in the darkness there is light. I learned a powerful teaching from a Jewish tradition which says, it is not incumbent upon you to complete the work, but neither are you at liberty to desist from it. Indeed, each of us has tremendous power, and our role is not to perfect the world, but rather to take steps in the right direction. For many refugees around the world, their aspiration is to find a place to call home. As a refugee myself, I ask you to open your hearts and welcome them. What I ask you is to start by simply doing this. Find the wandering refugee in your heart. Feel the anguish of the refugee in your soul. Allow the powerful voice of the refugee to live in your conscience. To live a meaningful life is to share in the pain of others as if it were your own, and to also rejoice in the success of others in time of happiness. Today, I ask you to feel the joy, the happiness, and the hope of my fellow graduates, and stand up and cheer for them and each other, because this graduation wouldn't have been possible without the contribution of all of you here sitting today. Congratulations, class of 2016. Let's show the world what we are made of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Semedar.